Hey, this is Johnny from DEATH REICH, and this is What's Metal.
It's great to have you on the show. It's first time actually with DEATH REICH. I'm actually not sure if you played in Germany before or if this is the first time.
Not for me personally, but for DEATH REICH, yes. Yeah, it's the first time, and the audience is metal.
Yeah.
I had really fun today. I really need to talk about that because the audience is very good here. Even in the very early of the day, still the people here still enjoying metal and drinking beer. I love Germany. Germany is the land, the country for metal.
All right. That sounds great. Actually, I have to tell our listeners that we are at the Braincrusher festival right now when we are talking, just so that they can kind of like put this into context. I mean, I saw you on stage. I couldn't see the entire show, unfortunately, because I did another interview today as well. So that comes, with the job. That is that you miss bands sometimes a little bit, but you seem to be a very outgoing band on stage. Yeah, you have a lot of energy flowing. I find. Is this something that you feel, like goes out and comes back from the audience, or what's the magic there that happens?
Today I've really felt the power from the audience when we are having a very fast music with a lot of energy, and I also felt that from the audience back when they raised their fists into the ceiling, and I really felt the power from the audience today. I really like it, but also again, German audience, I love it. It's very good.
Yeah. So how does this compare to the Swedish audience? Is it so different?
No, the Swedish audience is more quiet. It's more from its side. I think the German audience is more in the face, and I love it. It's I really like it.
Yeah.
So I really hope that we can play more in Germany. I really like that.
I know that the band was very eager to play here actually, because I can't remember who it was, but I think one of you guys, I'm not sure whether somebody stood in or played with, was it either Sacramentum or Negrova?
This player is from Sacramentum, also he played in One Man Army.
Yeah. So Sacramentum played here some time ago, and I think this is why he knew the festival.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So that's why we have the connection to Norbert, and I also thanked him because he's a very good arranger. And also, it's very good people here that are working here. So the support from the crew is lovely. So we have, for example, just driving us our equipment to hotel. Everything works like machinery here. I'm very impressed. I think it's a German way of planning and working.
Oh, really? So there's a certain level of organizational quality, right?
Yes, of course. It's a completely different level. I've been playing in different countries before with other bands, like Grief of Emerald that I'm from, and some countries the quality of planning is very different. I like German way of planning.
Yeah. So when DEATH REICH kind of like released the first tracks, it was more like I think single releases a couple of years ago to shake the scene up a little bit, to release a song or two. So what was it like initially? You didn't go for an album straight, you had some kind of like advanced material that you published.
Yeah, we published a little small amount of material first. I also want to hear what the audience like of us, but I still think we are very old guys. We play metal in the end of 19th century, and I think we are sounding now that we wanted to do in 91 when we started, but now we are able to do it now, and also we get another feedback now from that kind of music. I'm born and raised with that kind of metal. I know when I heard the first time that like Morbid Angel Altal Madness, or I heard of Morbid Angels, for example. I'm very in the Swedish death metal scene but now we are the musicians that we can produce this kind of music. Very simple, and this is what I wanted to do.
So since you're alluding to it so much that you're in the scenes since such a long time, maybe let's turn the clock back quite a bit, because it deviates from DEATH REICH now a little bit, obviously. But I know that you played guitars on the DECAMERON album, right? My Shadow, and I think to us, or at least the crew that does the show, this is kind of like a little bit of a forgotten gem, or like an underground gem, at least for us, because I think we played the opening track in either the very first or the second show that we ever did in 1996. And it was always kind of like a mystery, yeah, because so many people played in that band apparently at different times, and the album was released, and at the time I just really didn't know who was behind it so much, and I didn't realize. But maybe you can tell me a little bit about those days. How did this come about, and was it ever like a real band, or was it something that was released back then because it was the thing of the moment in a way?
No, this was really a real band, and we tried so much, but I think we released that record in the wrong time. So if we have been about 2 years earlier, it would be. I think that would be a hit, because it's a combination between heavy metal and death metal, because it's a very different like Death Reich. So I think it's very slow, more like heavy metal, and the combination. And I still like that record. And it still comes when we're drinking beer together with old friends. That record always comes back because it's like an old heavy metal record. It's something that's always coming back. But we were a good band, and then I think we didn't get the gigs and the acknowledgement that we needed for the time. Then we split.
Yeah.
So people did from our way, and also Tobias, the drummer. Even the best drummer I ever played with, the best heavy metal drummer I ever played with, and he always has his time period. I don't know why, but he's always 2 years, then he's going to the next.
Yeah.
So you can see in his probably like dissection or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was fun to play with those people. They were very good people, and I had a lot of drinks and a lot of fun. So I like that era that we had there. But we, like I told you, we were too early or too late. I don't know what.
Yeah.
So I don't know which problem it was, but I feel sorry for that, because I still think it's a good record.
Yeah. So when the record came out, the band was still active, right? It's not that the record was released with a delay.
We were very active, and we could have taken gigs, but we didn't get any gigs. I don't know why. I don't have any good explanation for it. I just feel sorry that I couldn't get more out live and play that, because I think still it's very good songs, very powerful songs also.
So what was the scene back then? Were you entangled with a lot of other bands from the region, or?
We had like a black metal band called Odero with John Norman from Dissection and so on, and Rudolf from Sacramento, the drummer, and for example, and also it was Grief for Emerald for me, because the Grief for Emerald has been a big thing that I've done for a lot of years. I also like that melodic, but now it's more fun for me. I think when Grief for Emerald was going down, and we were thinking, and our drummer stopped playing with us, and Robert called, and if you want to play with Death Reich, and I think it's gonna be fun to just be a singer, because when you're playing guitar, you're always taken, so you can't give the audience the correct amount of time that you need, to get the control and the eye contact. I love it. So for today, for example, just to have the eye contact, I have time for that now. I'm not playing anything. This is me and the audience, and I really love it. And so that's new for me now, and I really like it. The kick I get on this gig. It's beyond explanation. It's a drug for me, and also going around, the eye contact with the audience, fist into the sky. I love it.
So well, I mean, it didn't look like you were missing the guitar on stage in a way, right? Sometimes when when singers that had previously played an instrument no longer have it, sometimes it feels like they don't have anything to hold on to. Yes, exactly, and then they take the mic stand, or they don't really know what to do. Yeah, it's not the case for you.
I'm just using the mic stand sometimes if I want to explain something, but I really like this, and as I saw it before, eye contact and going through, and just working with the audience. I really like that. It's fun, and it's also a new experience for me also, but I think we like it. We had fun. I talked to some of the fans now and also some of the crew, and we had really fun today, and I also liked it. So I think we can make some cheer, or what you call it, Prost? Prost. Yeah, together now after the gig also. So I think they liked it.
Yeah. So then Grief of Emerald is dead and buried then, or just laid to rest for a while? Or
I think it's laid to rest. I think if some tour manager want us to play live, I think we can arrange something, but I don't think we're gonna meet together and write new music. But I think if someone want us to go for a tour, we can solve that, and then we can have fun together. But I don't think we're gonna start together now and just start creating new music, because I have so fun with Death Reich.
Yeah,
I'm having real fun with this.
But I mean, most of you guys have been playing or are playing in Grief of Emerald, right? I mean, if you look at the lineup of Death Reich, it's, I mean, there must have been
like a family.
Yeah,
we're like a small family, you know. So in the week, during the week after our jobs, because we don't live on this, it's just a hobby, and we are meeting in the rehearsal room, take some coffee, a beer, maybe something, and talking everything, the everyday things, and playing death metal, and that's still the thing we like, even 30 years later.
but was there some kind of like a transition moment to go from Grief of Emerald to Death Reich, or is it just something that you did on top now?
I think I need to thank Robert for that.
Okay.
Yeah, Robert, because Sacramento, One Man Army Robert, because he wanted to start that with Jonas. The drummer is not here today, but he's also a very good writer on the music, but he has operated his hand. So we had a session drummer, Jonas, also. It's very fun to have the same name, but it's simple for me. I also thanked him live because he is doing a good job, because he just rehearsed a couple of times. So, but they started and when they asked me to just do the singing, I was really thankful, and also, like I talked about before, just doing something without the guitar. It's a new experience for me, but I like that kick.
Yeah,
it's a big kick for me. It's adrenaline kick.
Yeah. So if I listen to the Death Reich songs, one thing that kind of like stands out in a way to me in terms of songwriting is that the songs are all fairly short, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't even have one song that's kind of like hitting the 5 minutes mark, I believe. It's all like 2.5, 3 minutes or whatever. Is this more like a conscious decision to do it like this? It's more like a punk attitude even, right? It's just like short to the point and then the next track, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're just pointing on it, because when death metal started, it was you have the punk attitude in the end, and also when you have very fast music with so much energy, you need to shorten the time, because or else the audience, you cannot hear it. You're starting to fade out because it's too much. So keep high energy short. I really like it, and of course you have a correct there, because the punk attitude is in the beginning, because it's in the beginning of death metal it was punk. So I think this was started. So yes.
Yeah. So if our listeners want to buy the records, they're released through Non-Serviam Records, I believe, in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
It's an old time with Grief of Emerald, so Non-Serviam. So we are talking about every month. So we have a good contact with that record label. It's a very good record label, and also he's into metal. He's not doing that for the great of money. He's just loving metal. I love him. So Ricardo, I love you. Ricardo is a very good friend of ours. Also, we're playing together because he also have bands, and he is a true metal fan. And also, so his label is more like he's releasing metal because he loves metal, and he is not releasing it for the benefit of money. So I really like Ricardo. Non-Serviam is a serious, good record label, and it's also in the underground. So I like that because we have jobs, other jobs, because the salary on this is not something you can live on, and of course we have other jobs. So he also understands that. So.
I mean, you sound like a very positive person, yeah. So where do you take the aggression and energy from?
It's just start the fucking TV, and everything is going to fuck. So a lot of text here is just from the news. So when I start the news, if you listen to the news, if you see the news on your iPhone, whatever, it's going to fuck. It's going to hell. So I think that's what calls Death Reich. It's more like different ways of the world's going to hell in explaining it. So that's why we call it the Death Reich. In Swedish we call it Dödsriket. So I just took that half English, half German because it sounded cool.
Yeah.
That's all the reason. It's, because I think Reich is a very metal sounding word. Yeah, okay. And also it's just look at the news. We have all the material. You have a lot of death metal material. So the lyrics is a lot of that stuff that I see and hear. It's death metal.
Right. So the show is called What's Metal? So what do you think is metal? Is there a description for it? How would you categorize it or describe it?
This is a very good question. I haven't even think like that. It's a very good question. Metal for me is when you're a group of people. Look at the people here. We have no fights. We have no problems here. We're drinking beer, and we listen to music and just having a great time together. That's metal.
All right. Okay, so coming to an end now, because we don't have excessive amounts of time, obviously, on the radio. Is there anything else that you want to tell our listeners? Anything that we need to know? Anything how you want to finish this interview off?
I think. Please listen to us and continue listen to metal, and also Prost.